Hello and welcome to part 4, the final part of our top 20 Pixar couples. If you're just watching this one, don't just watch the top 5, go and start from the bottom up. You won't appreciate it this much.
And if you do, you have very low standards. Anyways, so number 5 is probably my personal favorite on the list because we call this top couples. And this isn't really a couple, it's a group of 3 that would actually be really awful if it was a relationship thing. And it isn't really even romance. It's like
Idolization.
a should-be bromance, almost.
Infatuation.
It is from Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc. and Smitty Needleman and Sully. Smitty and Needleman are the 2 interns that idolize Sully completely and pretty much stalk him. Excuse me. But Sully just thinks of him as co-worker, so he's like, oh, hey, sup? And they're like, oh my god, Mr. Sullivan!
Okay, if you know who Smitty and Needleman are, watch the following exchange.
Oh, hey, Mr. Sullivan! You're making me lose the focus! I'm sorry! Shut up! And
That was Smitty and Needleman.
Anyways, so they really dig him. And he just kind of doesn't... It's not that he doesn't think high of them, he just doesn't think of them at all. He's just like, oh, hey, sup?
I treat you respect because you're my co-workers. And they're just like, we worship the ground you walk on, Mr. Sullivan!
So anyways, it's really funny. It's like possibly one of the funniest relationships to ever be on Pixar. If you don't know what we're talking about, I highly suggest you look it up right now while you're on YouTube and watch it because it is one of the funniest things you'll ever see and you will highly appreciate it if you actually care enough to watch this video.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's on YouTube, but if it is, watch it.
I'm sure there's clips of Smitty and Needleman on YouTube.
Just type in Smitty and Needleman.
See what happens. Okay. At number 4 from the Toy Story franchise, the movies 1, 2, and 3, we have...
No, it's not 3. Woody and Bo. But it's not 3. She was mentioned in the 3rd one, and because you're such a fan, she insists that it counts as number 3 when really it was just brought up. It was mentioned. Loosely.
What can you do?
Anyways, so they're number 4 on our list.
Yeah, basically, Woody and Bo, in contrast to the Buzz and Jessie, which we kind of already explained, the Buzz and Jessie relationship, they're always butting heads, and they both want to wear the pants. In the relationship between Woody and Bo,
Bo stays in the kitchen.
Bo wouldn't have to be told
Like
to
a good housewife.
She wouldn't have to be told to go back to the kitchen. She'd just stay there to begin with.
And she'd make him shepherd's pie.
But it...
Anyways, they click.
Yeah. Something else, too, is when you watch the first Toy Story, and again, I need to explain this to those of you who are younger. When they made Toy Story, Pixar wasn't as kid-oriented as it is now.
Like Cars 2, which was centered around all little boys, and the only good joke was the your mom joke they made.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The original Toy Story had such... I don't want to say like a darker theme to it, but it was definitely more mature. And it wasn't as happy, kid-safe, friendly Bubbles.
You said Bubbles.
Oh, shut your face. So when you go back and watch the first one as a teenager, you'll notice a lot of things differently. But one thing is the character of Bo. When Bo's with Woody, she's different than when she's with everyone else. When she's with everyone else, she's like, oh yay, I'm Bo, I'm nice. Everybody, I'm your best friend. When she's with Woody, she's just like, I have a hook in my mouth. Somebody else should watch the sheep tonight.
Hardy har har. Okay.
And it's incredibly seductive and awesome and fun to watch. Number 3!
Number 3 is the second pairing for my personal favorite Disney Pixar movie of all time, Monsters, Inc. And it is the only actual canon couple, being Mike Wazowski and Celia Wheelia. Actually, no,
Celia May Wheelia. Otherwise known as Googly Bear and Schmooty Poo.
The reason they're probably so high on our list is because they are so different than every other Pixar couple. Because you have your classic, already married, know each other, already in love kind of thing. You have your meeting, falling in love kind of thing. Or I guess gradually getting to like each other. And then you have your, oh my god, I just met you, let's go get married couples. With these, it's totally different.
The best way to explain it is in the original script, Mike was going to propose to Celia, But when they wrote it out like that, it really made it seem like Celia was what was driving Mike and Sully apart, and they really needed it to be the kid that was what was driving Mike and Sully apart, because otherwise Celia came off as a really unlikable character. So they fixed that, but you can still tell when you watch the movie, because I'm guessing they kept a lot of the same elements after they took out that part, was you can sense that they're going somewhere in the relationship. They're not at a steady level right now. They're about to take a step. And you can just tell from watching them that they're at that point of their relationship. Even though their relationship isn't a major component for the movie.
Yeah, it's really great to watch.
It was really well thought out on Pixar's behalf. And it's always fun to watch her yell at him.
Moving on to our number 2 couple from Disney Pixar's Cars and Cars 2. Probably the most forgettable canon couple ever.
Yeah.
Here we have Ramon and Flo.
Flamone!
Most people don't know who they are, so that's why we're going to explain it. Flo is the lady that owns Flo's Diner, V8, or Cafe, or whatever it's called. And she has gas. She has lots of gas. She's that, like, baby turquoise blue car. And
Showgirl license plate.
And Ramon is a tattoo artist who is played by
Cheech Martin, as in Cheech and Chong.
Who, in case you didn't know, played Bonsai in The Lion King, one of the hyenas. Lion King is my favorite movie. I bring it up a lot.
We never tell from the way you talked about Nala.
Anyways, and he is known as the purple car in Cars, but he changes color every 5 seconds. Anyways, they are great because they're already married, and so you have that aspect, but at the same time, it kind of seems like they're newlyweds sometimes, and other times, it seems like they've been married forever, which really brings a new light on the whole thing, and it's very interesting and fun to watch them, because they're still flirty with each other, but in the second movie, Flo is one of the many other cars who's in love with Francesco, so it's really funny and
But you know Flo isn't serious about it because she's so serious about Ramon.
And she's such an she's not old, but she's older.
Yeah. She thinks that Francesco is hot. She doesn't want to get with him.
As opposed to Sally.
Who wants to get into his trunk.
It's a vicious circle.
Get in the van.
Anyways. So that's basically the best way to explain that couple. So, our number 1.
After the other 19 magnificent couples, I guess you're probably like
Who
really wondering.
Loved. And by the way, there's nobody listed from The Incredibles in this movie.
In this movie?
I mean, in this
video.
Because I do not like the movie. Kill me, shoot me, whatever, I don't care. I just don't like The Incredibles movie, and I don't think any of the couples are really worthy.
I thought that Frozone and Mrs. Frozone should be on the list, but she didn't.
See, that's how little we know about the movie. Anyways, I don't care if you post bad comments about me because I don't like The Incredibles. That's your business, not mine. Anyways, our number 1 is Carl and Ellie Fredricksen from Up.
Up.
They are number 1 on our list because they have every great aspect that a couple should have. They have a better love story in 8 minutes than all the Twilight movies do, and they had like
4 movies.
They had like 9 hours.
Yeah, they had 9 hours, and these guys had 8 minutes, and Pixar was just like, ha, our story's better. But not really. That's what the fans were like.
Anyways, so what is great about them is you see them meet as children, which never happens. You see them age, which never happens. And then you see
What? What do you mean? Pixar characters age?
Exactly. But
I thought Andy was the only one.
Anyways, and then you see them fall in love and get married, and then she has a miscarriage, which is really sad and heartbreaking. And then they go, and they're going to go to South America.
Because it's like America, but South.
And anyways, and then they go, and then she gets sick and passes away, which again is a tearjerker. Everybody cries. But it's really sweet, because the reason Mr. Fredricksen decides to finally go to South Africa isn't for him. South America, I'm sorry, is for Ellie. And it's nice that he gradually gets over her.
Yeah, he spends the movie accepting her death, and they're undoubtedly the sweetest Pixar couple of
ever.
all time. Fannon or canon.
So, that concludes our 4-part. We hope you liked it. If you care enough to comment, do so.
If anybody even watches this, we should advertise this
Okay, bye.
on Facebook.